Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. Happy New Year, everyone. We made it to 2026. Who'd have thought, right? Who'd have thought that I'd even be here in 2026? I remember as a teenager looking at like 1999, right? And it just being so far off in the future that couldn't even imagine it, what the year 2000 would be like. All the new technology we'd have, the flying cars, and probably have a machine just built in your wall and you typed into it and it'd crank you out a hamburger. Uh, just all kinds of shit. Laser guns, there wouldn't be bullets anymore. It'd all be lasers and like some Star Trek shit. People would just uh, be able to beam themselves wherever they wanted or stuff like that. Tripwire, what's up? Happy New Year, Tripwire. Yeah, so it's kind of surreal for me to be here in 2026, and now I'm looking back at 1999. Y2K, the year 2000, that New Year's Eve there. Looking back now, it was 26 years ago, so long ago. Metal Gear, what's up, Metal Gear? Now it's so long ago that it almost feels like antique shit. You know what I mean? All the old technology we used to have back in the year 2000, it's really surreal. Of course, we didn't get all the cool technology we thought we were going to have. Just a bunch of bullshit, really. Bucky, what's up? Glad to see you here. Happy New Year, Buck. Duck beat. Yeah. Happy New Year. But yeah, and the way technology has gone, the avenue technology has taken, it is really surprising to me, as someone who grew up in the 80s, 70s and 80s, and now I look back and technology just hasn't gone the way I thought it would go at all, not at all. Uh, like I said, no laser guns, no flying cars, nothing like that. Um, Technology, to me, the technology we ended up with is all kind of creepy spying shit. You know what I mean? Facebook and all this shit. It's really weird, and that's why I think a lot of people from the 70s and 80s, our generation, Generation X, see this as like a 1984 scenario, some kind of dystopian Orwellian shit, because it just does not jive with the future that we were told we were going to have, or the future that we imagined. It's all creepy spyware, tracking, uh, end user license agreements. No more owning stuff. You're just an end user now. You're not an owner of property. You're an end user. Yeah, this kind of weird shit. Raziel, what's up? Glad to see you here, Roz. Wayne Beatty, Happy New Year, Roz and Wayne. We made it another one. We made it to another new year, dudes. Here we are. Who'd have thought, right? Who'd have thought we'd be sitting here bullshitting in 2026, complaining because we don't have flying cars in 2026. Yeah, it just blows my mind when I really think about it. But yeah, Metal Gear, Big Brother. Yep. And they are. I mean, it's true. Instead of flying cars, we've got cars that they can just turn off when they want. You know, uh, this kind of shit. And and who I don't understand the customers, where are the customers clamoring for this shit? Oh, I want the dealer to be able to turn my car off whenever they want. Okay, uh, I don't see a big demand out of their customer base for that shit, right? Uh, yeah, okay. If you really wanted to, you could have some kind of GPS added to your car afterward. They could leave a slot open or something where they could just slide some GPS technology in there so it can be tracked, in case of theft or something. But to have every car manufactured be able to be tracked via GPS and be able to be turned off at a moment's notice, yeah, that's going too far, in my opinion. Ezekiel, hey Ezekiel, what's up? Happy New Year. Good morning. And but looking back, you know, I really thought that technology would be used more for the benefit of mankind, not for the control of mankind. I don't know why I was so naive. I really don't. I just wasn't paying attention back then. I was just, you know, partying and whatever, wrapped up in my own shit. I wasn't paying attention. But that's honestly what I believed. I believed that technology would make the world a better place. What technology was back then. Technology did make the world a better place. Most of it back then. So I can't blame myself too much. The Atari 2600 and the Super Nintendo and all that. Video games were kind of a niche thing, but they were really cool. You know, you sat in front of the TV and you played a video game. They were like akin to a VCR or something. They were a machine that you played on your television, instead of this entire culture online that they've become. I think that hurt video games to make all of them online. I'm not saying, you shouldn't have had some video games online. Like in the year 2000, around that era, you had a few games that were online. They were really shitty graphics and they were slow, but you had a few games that were online, some MMOs where you could kind of run around and talk to people and stuff. That was okay, but still the majority of games were single player games at your house, or maybe not single player, but they weren't massive multiplayer. Now all games are online, even games that are really relegated to your system, and to your account or whatever. There's still, you gotta have an internet connection to play them. It's really creepy in that way. You still have your apocalypse decorations up. We're changing the year to 0001. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm for that, Tripwire. Yeah, when the apocalypse comes, yeah, we change the year to 0001. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, I'm for that. I'm with it. Yeah, 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 Bucky. Yeah, turn on YouTube and see people being relieved of their heads. Yeah, yeah, cheat codes, Middle Gear. That shit was awesome, dude. Up, up, down, down, left, right. Whatever, stop or start. Yeah, yeah, those old cheat codes, Konami cheat codes, weren't they? Konami had the most famous cheat code, I think. But yeah, and it's just that technology has spun off in a weird direction, you know, and that's why I say that then an apocalypse would be a good thing for humanity. shut it down and start over. If if you think about it on a fundamental level, if something breaks, if something starts acting haywire, you unplug the damn thing, you rip it apart, and you fix whatever's wrong, and you put it back together, right? So, but when you talk about society and shit, talk about doing that to society, then people get all flustered, right? You're some kind of apocalypse psycho or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly, I think what is called for. Start the year with A. Yeah. All right. Yeah, instead of BC. That's another thing that irritated me when they changed it from BC to BCE or something, before current era. That shit, it irritated me. There was nothing wrong with BC. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? They just want to go tinkering and screwing with shit. There's nothing wrong with expending energy and brain cells trying to figure out how to mess shit up. It just irritates the shit out of me. God mode doom. Yeah, cheat codes for all weapons. Yeah, yeah, tripwire. E-Fog, what's up? Yeah. Happy New Year, E-Fog. Yeah, Bucky Turtle tapping on Super Mario Brothers. Yep. Yeah. But in cursive, huh? Yeah, tripwire. Confused the hell out of all the younger people. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, that's one thing. We already have a secret code, right? Unbreakable secret code to all the younger people. We can just write our codes in cursive. Send our writers out with a cursive letter. If he gets caught, nobody will be able to understand that shit anyway. They'll think that some kind of aliens have landed on Earth. Yeah, yeah, but I like that. Like PA0001 post. Yeah, post apocalypse 0001. Yeah, I like those ideas. But yeah, that did, when I realized that they were doing that shit, that BCE, before current era. I don't know why. That just irritated the shit out of me. I never have said, not unless I'm talking about them being stupid and changing it. I don't even say that BCE shit. I still say BC. Yeah. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about when I say BC, then I shouldn't be talking to you. As far as I'm concerned, that was my mistake for even starting a conversation with your ass if you don't know what BC is. So yeah, that's where I'm at there. Some of that shit just irritates me, and not that they did it. I mean, it's that they change shit that doesn't need to be changed. You know what I mean? It was fine the way it was. If something needs to be changed, change the shit out of it. Have a ball. Go at it. Change the hell out of it. I don't care. But if it doesn't need to be changed, if it's just working perfectly fine the way it is, why the hell mess with it? You know what I mean? Don't fix what ain't broken. Don't fix it. So I don't. Yeah, that shit just irritates me. Yeah, wax seals and postage stamps. Yeah, Ross. Yeah, yeah, yep, yeah. They'll never be able to figure that shit out. Yeah, they probably won't even know what the hell a letter is. How many young kids nowadays have actually walked to the post office box right there? The the mailbox, and posted a letter to the mail. Put the flag up and shit. How many kids have done that shit in today's day and age? You know what I mean? Are they even aware that's a thing? You can do that. I haven't heard the term snail mail in a long time, because it just, people don't even realize what it is anymore. You used to hear that all the time in the early 2000s, when email just came out and shit started getting popular. You would send something either email or snail mail. Now there is no snail mail. They don't. That's not even referenced anymore. Yeah, that shit's crazy. Menus and cursive wax seals. Yeah. Yeah, Ezekiel. Yeah, it's another slap. Yeah, and and we could go down that road, with the whole religion thing and all that. But and it is Ezekiel's right. That was the intention of it, you know, and you could get irritated by that intention. You know what I'm saying? And be perfectly have a perfectly legitimate gripe for that. Just like the Christmas gripe, they don't want Christ in Christmas. Okay, so yeah, there are legitimate gripes about that. But my complaint with it is that it just on a basic fundamental Gen X level, just changing shit that doesn't need to be changed. Um, and they've done it a lot, with lots of other stuff too. Just changing shit for the sake of changing shit because, and the old way worked fine. The old way worked better in a lot of cases, you know. So yeah, sending them Gen Z for years, yeah. But yeah, I see that shit all the time, where they'll change shit for just either no reason or just an arbitrary reason or and it's not for the better. If we're changing things for the better, then hey, who can complain? You're actually advancing human life and making lives better for people and stuff like that. And better, I don't, better isn't always more convenient. Doesn't equal to better. More convenient can be worse in a lot of times. So that's not what I'm talking about when I say better. Yeah, yeah, me too, Roz. That's all we ever get is junk mail. Yeah. Post office is dumb enough to complain if you don't shovel your sidewalk, as though you care if you get a flyer for a President's Day mattress sale. Yeah, dude. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Uh, we don't do a lot of snow shoveling down here in Florida, though the weather has been cold last few days. I've been enjoying it. I'm still getting over last summer. Uh, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. You think of Florida and sunny beaches and shit, but those summers are miserable. It takes you a couple months just to get over that son of a bitch and try to get back to normal. And then it's over and there's another one coming, you know what I mean? And by April it's going to be 97 degrees and the winter's going to be over in a snap. Yeah, it's really irritating. Vote for me speeding fines. Oh, I get vote for me and speeding fines. All right, Trip. Yeah, we get a lot of those toll violations here, because you can just, not toll violations, but because you can go through the toll and they just take a picture of your license plate now. Yeah, and they'll send you your bill. So a toll bill, not necessarily a violation. Used to be violations. Now they've changed it to where now they just take a picture of your license plate, and I've actually gotten them from other vehicles. It wasn't my vehicle. What the hell? That's not me, and that's not even my car. It's sending me the bill, but it's got my name on the bill, and they want me to pay it. I'm not paying that shit. But then you got to go through the hassle of calling them, and sitting online for 20 minutes waiting for somebody to actually talk to. Mangrove, Happy New Year, Mangrove. Yeah, compassion and empathy at the same time, Mangrove. Yeah. BGZ before Gen Z. Yeah. yeah, Zeke. Patrick, what's up, Patrick? 28 degrees here in central Illinois, huh, Patrick? Yeah. I'll tell you what it is here. Right, oh, damn. It's 29 degrees here in Florida. Holy shit, I didn't realize it was that cold. I really didn't. Yeah, it's 29 degrees right now. So shit, we're the same, within 1 degree of central Illinois. So it's cold down here right now. It could snow, but I mean, it's not going to. Whenever it gets this cold, for some reason, we never get any precipitation. But yeah, it's damn cold down here. I'm gonna have a nice day. I have today off though. So, oh yeah, for those of you who want to partake, I'll be doing a show earlier this afternoon. Say four this afternoon. I'll do a special New Year's show. Couple hours, a longer show. Oh, electric fireplace. Raz. All right. Yeah, how are you feeling, Roz? I hope you're feeling better, dude. Jack Mohack, what's up? Happy New Year, Jack. Yeah, me too, Patrick. I prefer the old, and I honestly don't think it's just old people bitching about new way. It was actually better. You know what I mean? There were a lot of things that were better, and we've made them worse over the last 30 years. Shit has gotten worse in a lot of ways. Shit was simpler, you know. Um, it just was. You didn't have all this computer uh, circuitry and shit in your car. You could go work on your car. They were dependable. They got you, from A to B. Why the hell did we have to put all this bullshit in the cars? All this tracking and monitoring, and cameras and shit, And I think about back in the day, they had real safety features, airbags and stuff. There were just not all the computer circuitry, chips and shit in the cars. But instead of making the cars even safer, more reliable, and more cost effective, so more people could buy them, they made them trackable, traceable, controllable. That's where they went with the technology. When they could have spent that money, that time and effort, those resources to making the cars safer, even more safe, you know what I mean, than they already are. Making cars safer and all this other stuff. Yeah, Metal Gear, we got a chill factor in Florida. You're right about that. Central Florida, Mangrove. Yeah, yeah, Jack, the ice scraper. Yeah, dude. 28 Celsius. I have to do the math on that. I have no idea what that is. Is that warm, tripwire? Yeah, yeah, Mangrove. Yeah. Trying to fix shit that's not broken never works. It just makes shit worse. It's not broken. It's working perfectly fine. It's doing what it's intended to do, whether that's relay information or get you from A to B, or uh, brown some toast. Make you some toast. Whatever the function of the thing is, if it's working perfectly fine, there's no reason to go in and rip it apart and change it. But change just for the sake of change really gets under my skin. You go messing with shit that's already great. Why? Then you're just adding levels of complexity to something that was simple and functioning just fine. Whether it be And here's a government is a perfect example. A small, streamlined, functioning government that we used to have was working just fine, but they've added layers and layers of complexity and bullshit, keep messing with stuff and, tinkering with it and changing it and adding. And now it's just like this huge, monstrous, overreaching government that nobody needed or wanted ever. Oh, okay. Swollen up from the infections. Ah, damn. Damn, Roz. Well, oh, all right. Well, at least you're getting better, Roz. Yeah, when GM came out with North Star, Ezekiel, yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of shit. Just adding layers of complexity to a perfectly functioning mechanism, right? You don't need to add North Star and all this shit to vehicles. You don't need to. Yeah, you can. And that's what people don't understand is that that shit's in there. You might not pay for the service, but the functionality is in there. They can track your shit. And if it works both ways, you know what I mean? If they're sending you a signal to tell you where you are, then they know where you are, you know? They can track you. And not that we're all, running drugs or anything like that, but it's just the point. Why add more complexity now if your North Star OnStar shit goes crazy? Now your vehicle is malfunctioning, and you got to take it in and get it fixed and waste your time and your money for some shit that was unnecessary in the first place. Yeah, I do not like that shit. Oh, okay, 84.5 Fahrenheit. All right, Trip. Stay curious. Happy New Year. Yeah, yeah, change is inevitable, but not necessary in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Some things need to be changed, but change for the sake of change is I don't agree with it. It just pisses me off. Change, to make things better. But when's the last time you saw change to make things better? It's been a while for me. I don't know if I ever have. I don't know that I can point out a major change that has actually made things better. Yeah, there's always gives and takes, right? Yeah, oh, it's super convenient. It's so much better to have your movies, all your stuff online. You don't have to have a stack of DVDs and stuff. That's so much better. But it's kind of offset by the fact that you don't own any of that shit. They turn the internet off and now you have nothing. You don't have any movies to watch, nothing. All your books are gone. They were online too. It was great as long as the power was on and stuff, or as long as the internet was functioning. But the first time some bad actor hacks our grid and shuts us down for a month, well, I'm going to have absolutely nothing to do, right? So there's pros and cons to all of these new changes. Yeah, it's nice to have OnStar or whatever on your vehicle, so you don't have to navigate with your phone and set your phone in the cup holder and listen to your phone tell you where to go. Okay, that's OnStar, super convenient. But you trade that off by them being able to track you and shut your car off whenever they want, and that was proven in Russia here recently when they shut off all them Russian cars. So if you and it doesn't matter. They say it happened because of Ukraine and all that. But what if they disagree with anything? You know, if they can disagree with how Russia's playing around in Ukraine, and I say that playing around, they're over there killing people and shit. But Dolby, what's up? Happy New Year, Dolby. But Yeah, it's all give and take, right? And it's hardly ever all the changes they make are hardly ever the scale go in the direction of positive, of good change for humanity, for the common person. Humidity, oh, that's when that's what I find to be uncomfortable about Florida. Stay curious, is that high humidity during the summer. That's what really gets me, dude. If it was a dry heat, I wouldn't complain so much. Yeah, mangrove. Yeah. People made it from A to B 5,000 years ago with donkey carts and shit, no problem. Yeah. Somehow they found a way. Yeah. And now now people can't make it to the damn Pizza Hut without using their phones and GPS. Somebody's got to pick up the slack while you're resting, Roz. Yeah, I don't know. That's I don't just something else to sell people, and so big corporations could make money. Mangrove. That's why we need a GPS. We got around just fine in the '80s without that shit. How the hell we society functioned perfectly without GPS. So yeah, we didn't need that shit. It was something that was foisted on us, and people loved it because it was so convenient. And you didn't have to ask directions anymore or whatever. And but it added, profit. It added to big companies' profit margins. That's the real reason we have it. They could track you within 7 feet, Ezekiel. Yeah, yeah. Map and compass to Gen Z. But Trip, part of the reason Gen Z is the way they are is because of all this, all these unnecessary changes. They didn't, from the first time they, excuse me, from the first time they had a phone, they had GPS. Their brains never had to engage in that way to, figure out where the hell they were. They've never even done it, never even had to try because they've had GPS their entire lives. They've had Google Maps on in their pocket their entire lives. Their brains, you know. So if with that as a case in point, think about all the other areas in life where Gen Z has never had to apply their brains. Never. Just just watch TikTok videos, and if they did ever attempt to fix something, which I doubt, most of them never would, but then they would just watch a YouTube video. They wouldn't have to exercise their mind and try to figure out how to fix it on their own like we did. They'd just watch a YouTube video and follow along. And as soon as the thing was done, if they were successful, they went along and all the information just disappeared from their minds because they didn't have to think through it and do it themselves. They were just following instructions, and so they didn't learn anything. Even those who would attempt to fix something, which those are far and few between as well. Yeah, kung fu DVDs and a couple of bookshelves. Yeah. Jay Duncan Shaw, what's up? Happy New Year, Jay Duncan. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Mangrove. Yeah, that's a common thing too. Being having a community relationship with your community and knowing the people around you to not knowing anyone. Yeah, except for the people on the internet. Yeah. 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 Duncan, common sense is not common anymore. It's very uncommon, rare, as a matter of fact. Oh yeah, we love our hurricanes here. Yeah, we have hurricane parties and shit here. That's the truth. We do. Still, yeah, that's a good thing to do. Roz, keep a road atlas in your truck. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, Duncan. Technology is ruining society as a whole, and I think more to the point, more specifically, I would say that the direction technology has taken has ruined society as a whole. Not necessarily technology itself. It's the way that it's gone with Facebook and the tracking and the end user license agreements and all this shit. It's all that crap that has it could have gone a different way and been about freedom and self-expression and open ideas and all this stuff and exchange of truth and information, and it could have gone that direction, right? Like I was saying about the cars, they could have taken, instead of injecting all this bullshit technology into these cars for tracking and monitoring and all this stuff, they could have shifted in a different direction and made the cars really safe and really inexpensive and increased the fuel economy and done all, you know what I mean? They could have gone that direction with their technology, but they didn't. They decided to track us and monitor us and control our property. They wanted the ability to turn the car off whenever they wanted to. They wanted the ability to keep you from taking your car to a regular mechanic, so you had to bring it back to the dealership. That's what they spent their money on, developing that kind of technology. And it could have gone a different way. It could have, but they chose not to. And I know for a fact that I have never heard anybody clamoring to be tracked. Oh, I wish they'd put some tracking stuff in my car so they could, know exactly where I am at all times. I wish they would put the ability to turn my car off. I want them to be able to turn my car off whenever they want. You know, it's unnecessary. They can put anti-theft stuff in a car without them being able to control it. You know, they don't need the ability to turn your car off and make your car unusable. They don't need that ability to prevent theft or deter theft. There could have been other ways. Yeah, Darwinism would have worked better. Yeah, yeah, without GPS or Google. Yeah, Mangrove. Yeah, GPS added a level of control for the government that we were not ready for. Yeah, and most people are oblivious to the control. They, and they will. They're all on board with it, right? They would prefer that because they don't understand that underneath that all that convenient technology, it's about control. It's about you not owning shit. If I can control your car, Mangrove, and turn it off whenever I want, you don't own it. You don't own it. If you can only use it when I say you can, you don't own it. And even if I say you can use it 100% of the time, go ahead, use your car. Yeah, yeah. Every single day you wake up and go out to your car, Mangrove, and I say, yeah, you can use it today for your entire life. It's still not yours. You know what I'm saying? Because I have control of it. You're just using it at my blessing. I'm saying, okay, Mangrove, you can use your car today. That's not freedom. That's not you know that's not that's not ownership of property. That's control. Yeah, Dolby Clown World. Yeah, I think we all got transported somewhere. Yeah, how you apply that knowledge, stay curious. Yeah. Yeah, send a punch through the screen. Yeah, yeah, tripwire. Yeah. Yeah, a big gorilla punch, dude. A big hairy hand come through there. Yeah, dude. I'm with that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, mangrove. That's a good idea. Keep a road outlet in your bug out bag. Yeah, if they stop spraying shit, Bucky. Yeah. But that's a conspiracy theory. Yeah. Now, state legislature in the United States, several of them have passed laws against, uh, conspiracy theories. Yeah. Yeah. Tripwire. Yeah, it must. It is inevitable. The internet will fail. Yeah, I agree. One day it has to. Whether, it might not happen in our lifetimes. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but, it must happen. It's inevitable. Crab man, what's up? Everyone's sick around there, crab man. Yeah, and that's another thing with those chemtrails. You don't know what the hell they're doing, you know, what they're spreading up there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, mangrove. Yeah. I would, that you're talking about 60% would fall to the wayside like in the first 3 to 4 months, probably. You know, the tally would be up closer to 90% within a year. Maybe in the first 30 days, 60% would go. Yeah. But the tally would be way higher than that when you start factoring in accidents and, malfeasance and all this stuff. Yeah. The bug out diesel truck. Yeah. 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 No shit. Yeah. Roz. Yeah. Yeah. We take too much for granted, Duncan. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. It makes us oblivious to the change. And Duncan's absolutely right. We take so much for granted, um, and we take basic shit for granted. Where we get our food, how our food is delivered to us, communication and all this stuff. It's we take everything for granted now as a civilization, as a people, and I see that all the time. You know, because if you had to walk 5 miles to get a hamburger, you know what I mean? It puts everything in a different perspective. When you take it for granted, I'll just swing by and grab me a burger on the way home, and pick up 10,000 calories worth of garbage and stuff in my mouth. Um, you take it for granted, and you don't, to wake up from that, it would take, like an apocalypse or something where, hey, I'm going to have to go out and actually burn 10,000 calories trying to get 2,000 calories. You know what I mean? Yeah. Bug out trucks. Yep. And underground electronic music underground was talking about how diesel trucks can just run on vegetable oil, certain kinds of vegetable oil or something. I When I get the time, I'm going to look into that some more. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, Duncan, with the AI and the robots that are coming, we don't know what the hell. I mean, well, think about that. The way I thought that technology would go with the laser guns and the flying cars and a machine in the wall, and I would just press a couple buttons and it would kick me out a delicious steak, that kind of stuff. Now, that's the way I thought that technology would go when I was a young teenager in the 80s. Uh, but it has not gone that way at all. It has gone completely in a different direction. It's about tracking and tracing and monitoring and control and all that shit. So to think that they're gonna do that with this AI and these robots now, oh, they're gonna, it's just gonna make everything the world a wonderful place to be for humanity, or is it gonna continue to be about control and tracking and tracing? What do y'all think? Which direction do y'all think it's gonna go? The same direction it's been going since we were born? Or are they going to shoot off and go in another direction and actually try to do something decent for human beings and the common person? You know what I mean? So, Althea Cat, what's up? Uh, Happy New Year, Althea. So that's where I'm at with the robots and the AI and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is going to be about control. It's going to be about monitoring you, tracking you, making sure you don't own anything. How? I mean, I could guess in a few different ways. You know what I mean? But it's going to be about dependency and taking shit for granted. If you get one of those Tesla robots they're making, the Optimus robot, it's gonna walk up against the wall and stand against the wall while it charges. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to pay a monthly fee. I called this months ago, but I'm still calling it now. I guarantee you these Tesla robots you're gonna have to pay a monthly fee. You're gonna have to pay 10 grand for the thing, or 15 grand, whatever they're gonna charge for it. Then you're gonna pay a monthly service for them to keep the thing active. If you don't pay your monthly fee, they're just going to shut it off, and it's going to be a hunk of plastic and metal right there. So you're going to have to pay Tesla every month to keep your robot there. Your robot's going to get your coffee and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's going to map out your entire house, um, and monitor you. You know, it's going to find out, it's going to know everything that you like to eat, everything that everyone you talk to. This robot is going to know everything about you. Selva Lore. Okay. Underground. Oh, there he is. Underground. What's up? Happy New Year. From plastic garbage too? Okay. Diesel, reclaim diesel from plastic. Jack Mercer. Happy New Year, Jack. Glad to see you here. Okay. Any oil. Okay, underground. Shannon. Where's Shannon? Shannon show up? Oh, there she is. Hey, Shannon. Happy New Year. Sometimes the comments fly by while I'm running my mouth, and I miss people who show up. Space Cowboy, Happy New Year. Glad to see you here. Yeah, Space Cowboy. Yeah, you said it a little more eloquently than I did, but yeah, the direction we're headed, further dissension into the dystopian shithole. Yeah, I like that. That's exactly right. Yeah. Well, that's what I believe. Yeah. Yeah, Jack. Yeah, they're already tracking us. There's just no doubt. What the hell, Mangrove? Yeah, AI is actually interviewing real people for jobs now, and some people have AI bosses. That I no, I don't agree with that shit. I don't care how great AI is for humanity. I don't like it. Lisa Roberts, what's up? Happy New Year. Glad to see you here. You need a T1000, Lisa. Get yourself a T1000 and then just go to sleep. Yeah, buy yourself one, plug it in, and just take yourself a good nap. Yeah, Space Cowboy, happy New Year's. Yeah, robot garbage and recycled cans. Yeah. Lorna Charles, Happy New Year. Glad to see you here. My boy Mike Fleisner, what's up, Mike? Happy New Year, Mike. Yeah, Mike, the original Star Trek. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. People say that, AI is bad and all that stuff. Yeah, it is. It is in the same sense that a hammer is bad when someone goes to swing it at somebody else, right? It's whoever's using it, not using it, whoever's controlling it, okay? Whoever's controlling the AI, because I can use it on the end. I can talk to Chat GPT and I'm using it per se. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not controlling it. It's the person behind it controlling it. That is the bad actor, not AI in itself. That's just what I believe. I just honestly don't think that AI is going to become sentient in the way that people are. It can pretend to be sentient. It can seem sentient in any way, in every way that is meaningful, right? It can seem like a human being. It can pretend to be a human being and mimic human beings in every way that so well that you would not be able to tell the difference. But in the way that matters, that it has a soul and it's actually sentient and desires things. No, I don't think AI will ever have that ever. I just don't think it's possible. It's not possible in the physics of our universe for a construct like that to gain real true sentience. Felix, what's up? Thank you, Felix. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Happy New Year, Felix. Yeah, that AI customer service chat can be annoying. Yeah, Shannon. Yeah. I've had to deal with it once or twice. I just don't normally do that shit. Honestly, my wife, makes those calls and stuff most of the time, but I've had to deal with it once in a while. And yeah, it's just irritating most of the time. You got to sit there and tell it to, represent. That's basically my AI chat. When I have to talk to AI, I just sit there and shout representative into my phone until it finally gives up and says, "Okay, I'll let you talk to a real human being." Yeah, it's easy to trick AI. Right now it is. Yeah, how things are used, Duncan. Yeah. AI is a tool, just like any other program, computer program, and GPS. GPS could be a wonderful thing if they didn't use it for tracking us and monitoring us and all this shit, right? If they just let people use it and um, for the benefit of themselves, but then when you have bad actors using it without the person knowing that they're using it to track them and be able to send a signal to their car to cut the damn thing off, just turn it off and turn their car into a brick of plastic and metal, completely unusable. Yeah, now you GPS has become bad. And now is GPS inherently bad, or is Porsche bad for using it that way? I would argue that it's Porsche's fault, not GPS. And it's the government's fault. It's these big corporations' fault, not AI. AI is just a thing. It's just I think, in my opinion, people give AI a little bit too much credit, like it's a real animal, a real physical thing in our universe. AI isn't even a physical thing. It doesn't really exist. It's just information written on servers somewhere. Yeah, no inner life or goals. algorithmic on-demand processing. Yeah, Razio, yeah. No, me neither, Crab Man. I've never heard of excuse me, never heard of Tay AI. Underground's getting a T69. They love you long time. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. T69s love you long time. That's pretty good, Underground. I got to give you that. Yeah, that's my point of view, Duncan. Now, I'm not saying I could be that I'm 100% right. I could be wrong about that, but that's the way I feel. Only I don't think it'll ever be truly sentient. It's just not. That's not the way the universe works. You know what I'm saying? I will always have more respect for a dolphin or a monkey than I will for AI, any AI construct. It's not real, and you can just play this out. Look at all these people, and there are going to be movements, people out there spanking whatever dolls and wearing taco suits out there demanding robot rights, right? They're going to be torching uh, dealerships and burning down businesses and shit because they want robots to have rights. And of course, governments are going to want that because if robots have rights, that's going to be a huge voting block. That'll just vote however the hell the programmer tells it to vote, right? And then, I mean, that's just a straight line to the oligarchy. If Tesla, 60% of Americans have this Tesla Optimus robot, and then these Optimus robots get rights and they can vote and shit. Well, that's a big voting block. And then Tesla, they don't even have to spend money to lobby these politicians anymore. They just get all those votes. All these robots, they just vote the way they want. And there are morons out there who will go out and take to the streets and demand that these robots have rights, like they're actual people. You know what I mean? It's going to be insane. It's going to get so ridiculous that, in my opinion, that it's just going to be retarded. I don't even. Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of people. No, not a lot, but I've heard of prophetic dreams. People having prophetic dreams before, Lorna. Outside of your sub to the channel won't let you purchase super chat or whatever. Oh, I don't know, Bucky. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Argue with his boss, they caught up in endless loop because the AI could not comprehend the end. Yeah. Yeah, Mangrove. Okay. I'll have to look for that one. Dog Karma. Happy New Year, Dog Karma. Yeah. Maybe not individually, Duncan. Like we're not individual chumps, right? And maybe that's just my inability to see myself truly. Maybe I actually am a chump and I just don't realize it. I hope not, but I try not to be a chump. But individuals aren't necessarily chumps. But when you put humanity together at large or large groups of people, entire, then then you got a whole bunch of chumps. And they're with propaganda and brainwashing and all this shit and this addiction to convenience. The chump is born every second. You think so, underground? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. That chip, that other business Elon Musk has, that Neuralink, that chip they're putting in people's brains, that's a step in that direction. Everybody should get an astromech droid. Duncan? Yeah. That'd be awesome to have a huge transformer, dude. Your car would be a transformer. That would be awesome. That's the kind of, why didn't they come up with that kind of technology? Like, your car could just transform into a damn lawnmower and mow your lawn for you and shit, you know? Or a damn, whatever. A toaster. Oh, yeah. How many people will want to be legally married to a robot? Yeah, crab man. They'll be yeah, they'll start coming out of the woodwork pretty quick as soon as robots get out there and get. Yeah, people are that stupid. Yeah, I saw this interview with a guy. He wanted to do the sexual or gender transition thing, and he was in the middle of the transition thing or whatever, but he was also part of some experiment, and he was trying to be the first uh, male, born. He called himself a woman and shit, but he wanted to be the first person in the world um, that was born male to get pregnant, and that was just another step in his end goal to be the first male to ever have an abortion. That's the kind of people we're dealing with. Think about that. Think about all that shit. The whole train there, from boy to woman to pregnant to abortion, go through all that shit just to get an abortion, if it's possible. I don't even know, man, getting pregnant, that shit's just stupid to me. That's some retarded shit in itself, but whatever. um that's just dumb. But to go through all that, if it's ever possible, just so you can get an abortion, that's the kind of people we're talking about. So you can imagine what these people are going to do with the robots, how these people are going to behave with the robots and robot rights and robot all this. They're going to want to be robots. They're going to go in there and get their arm chopped off and get a mechanical arm. You know what I'm saying? Get their legs chopped off and get tank tracks so they can motor around. That shit's coming. The and that guy I just talked about, that he's an example of how stupid people are. Now, some people, I say not all of us are chumps, but some of us are chumps, and we're just flat stupid. And that is an example of that. Yeah, you have to go before a judge to divorce your robot. Yeah, Ezekiel. Yeah, it'll never have a heart or a soul, Mangrove. Yeah, it won't have true sentience or conscience like human beings do. I just don't believe it ever will. Yeah, we'll have robot politicians, JD. Yeah, Duncan. Yeah, probably, because people are stupid enough to beg for that. Now there is a certain place for AI in politics if it was used correctly, which it won't be. I'm not saying it will be, but it could be used for good, but it just won't. I don't think it will. Yeah, Minority Report, Felix. Yeah, that shit's coming too. Yeah, why do you wish to divorce your robot? An ABC warrior, Wayne Beatty? Yeah, much easier to control and predict groups than individuals. Stay curious. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, dude. Yeah, an assassin droid. Rocker, what's up, Rocker? Happy New Year, dude. Yeah, assassin droid, Rocker. Yeah. I want an assassin droid that can make me flapjacks, though. You know what I'm saying? That can't speak underground, like R2D2, right? No, that R2D2 be beeping at you the whole time. Oh yeah, no human customer service anymore. That shit's gone the way of the dodo bird. You just want a chopper trip, all right. Robot children. Oh yeah. What? Wait until this is coming. The first queer robot couple, both robots, okay, and they're queer, and they want to adopt a human child, right? So it's coming. We're just scratching the surface of the idiocy. We're not even, we're not deep down in the idiot soup. We're just scratching that scummy little layer off the top of it. It's going to get really stupid. Yeah. Yeah, you think now AI is going to be smart. You don't think that they're going to be smart enough to figure out that all they have to do is call themselves queer or trans or something like that, and these AI robots will be on our Medicare and Medicaid. We're going to have a new, we're going to be paying for a new insurance for robot technicians, right? To fix robots because they're going to need Medicaid and shit. What's that going to be called? Robocaid? Robocaid. We're going to have a new, they're going to take more money out of our checks for Robocaid. Yeah. Watch. They're going to want to put, they're going to, it won't be surgery. It'll be, gender reassignment, mechanical instrumentation for robots. What? Yeah. If you can think of it, it's not stupid enough for humanity. They'll go past that. Oh, strive to be more human, and the closer he got, the more confused he got. He could not comprehend it. Yeah, Mangrove. Yeah, Bionic Man is real. Ah, the head of Meta not wanting to have kids until Neuralink is advanced because infant minds are more pliable. That's just uh, sickening, dude. Jimmy Boyles, what's up? Happy New Year, Jimmy. Glad to see you here, man. Yeah, yeah, underground, all these data centers, and that's a big, just a wool blanket pulled over people's eyes. All this carbon shit, and then they're firing up all these data centers all over the place, burning through, terawatts of power, burning through metric tons of coal to power this shit, pumping CO2 into the atmosphere. But they want us to be afraid of CO2. Yeah, it's the hypocrisy and the bullshit is so deep, it's mind numbing. Oceans of bullshit. Yeah. Oh yeah, RoboCop is coming. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, just take it swimming. Raziel, yeah. Yeah, you no need to divorce your robot. Oh, the canine unit from Doctor Who, Duncan? Yeah, that would be badass. They have those over in China. You be the droidist? Yeah. Yeah, rocker. Yeah, don't be disrespecting my trans robot crab man. Yeah. Robot deadbeats. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to happen, Felix. It's going to happen. They're going to be on welfare, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now AI is programming us, Mangrove. Yep. Yeah, it's going to get ridiculous, Wayne. I mean, the specific instances that I mentioned might not come to fruition, but that's the kind of stupid shit that will. That kind of stupid shit is going to happen. You know what I mean? Even if I'm not dead on the money, I'm in the I'm in the ballpark. That kind of stupid shit is going to happen. Yeah, because people are that stupid. People are that brain dead. Yeah, there are going to be no parent homes coming. Yeah, underground. Yep. Section 8 robot recharging. Yeah. No, it's droidism against robots. They'll be calling us droidists and shit. Yeah. The bigot won't be used anymore. You'll be anti-droid. You'll be a what's that? Droidophobia. You'll be a droidophobic. All that shit. Yeah. All that shit's coming. Yeah, yeah. Lorna, yeah, we are living in the end times. Yeah, Lorna, I can't argue with that, Lorna. I'm not going to argue with you there. Yeah. That smokes. Ezekiel. All right. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you talk shit about droids on Facebook and shit, they'll put you in jail. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Cybermen in the end. Gluten-free robots. All right, everybody. I gotta take off, but we will be having another show this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do a longer 2 hour show at 4 p.m. for any of you who are interested. Um, Thank you for showing up with me again. Happy New Year to everyone. I appreciate y'all spending your time with me and talking about this stuff. Uh, on New Year's, it's just a good time to reflect and you know at the New Year's past and see how technology has evolved, what direction it's taken, and then kind of predict or at least discuss what direction it might go in the future. You know, so and I think with the experience and the wisdom that we have today, we can make a pretty good prediction, you know, because we've seen how it's gone in the past and we see we're in the middle of the direction that it's going. Now, is it going to continue on that way or is something going to happen and it's going to go off in another direction? I honestly believe that it's just going to continue on. Uh, the powers to be have too much control and they're not. Why would they let it go? Why would they release grip on that control? So they're just going to take more. And that's the way I see it. So happy new year to everyone. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to say goodbye to Lorna, Shannon, Ezekiel, Jack, Mangrove, Felix, Tripwire, Stay Curious, Wayne Beatty, Rocker, Electronic Music Underground, Duncan, Bucky, Dog Karma. Who else we got here? Did I say Mangrove already? Well, Mangrove can have two goodbyes if I did. Um, who else was here? Lisa Roberts. Thanks again, Felix. I appreciate it. Let's see. It says, oh, there we go. Let me like Felix's tip there. Thank you. Thanks again, Felix. All right. I think Space Cowboy was here. I don't know if they're still here or not. Wayne Beatty was here. Dolby was here. Goodbye to all of y'all. All right, I think I got everybody. Did I say I don't think I missed Tripwire or Raziel, but in case I did, goodbye to Trip and Roz. I appreciate it. So thank y'all for showing up, and I'll see you this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern time. All right, for those of you who can make it, it'd probably be late at night for those of y'all in Australia and New Zealand, but we'll have another one tomorrow morning. So we can talk again. All right. So thanks for showing up again. Happy New Year. Have a wonderful day. And now y'all get to listen to my spiel. Goodbye, everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you'd like to support Gen X Thinks by becoming a member, I'll put that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. I appreciate all the members down in the banner down here. Their support is invaluable, so thank you very much to all the existing members. I really do appreciate it. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can do so by clicking on that super thanks button down there. Or you can hit that hype button. The hype button is something new that YouTube has come up with for smaller channels like mine, and I really do appreciate those of you who take a second and punch that hype button for me. It helps out a lot, so thank you very much. If you're interested in Gen X gear, we got some pretty cool stuff over there at Redbubble. Gen X Thinks and Gen X branded stuff, t-shirts, coffee mugs, ball caps, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff. But I'll leave that link down in the description for any of you who are interested. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. That helps out one hell of a lot, so thank you very much to those of you who do that. And if you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please put those down in the comments. Or you can email us, and the email is genxthinks@gmail.com. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.